my car in so much space. When you out there without care, I was out of tone. But it wasn't because I didn't know, no. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. I hope that you're having the time of your life. Think twice. That's my only advice. Who do you think you are? Oh, bless your soul. You think you're in control. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like. Hello, everybody. Hey, it's a beautiful Saturday. What is it? Afternoon. Wherever you're watching me from. Guys, I'm really hoping that this broadcast is clear and it doesn't skip. The last time I did one of these, the internet connection wasn't superb. I mean, it wasn't its best. So every time I would speak, there would be this cutting sound and be some interruption. Tell me now if there is some interruption. I'm using my phone as a monitor, and that's not always reliable. What's reliable is what you guys can hear and see. So please tell me because look, here's the thing. If it's not clear, as they used to say, if it's not gelling, then it's not jello. So you need to break it down for me. I see my dear friend Bo Allen by Joseph Tashimba watching us from Solihull, England. I've never been to Solihull. Have you guys ever been to Swaffham? There's a place called Swaffham, and there's a place called Walthamstow. But of the locals, they say Walthamstow or something like that. Walthamstow. I say Walthamstow. All right. Somebody said loud and clear. Dan says loud and clear. This is what I want to see. Somebody said a one-man show. You ain't lying. I tell you what, you come here, you realize very quickly that I'm all by myself. I live in the solitude of myself is what it is. No interruption. I'm very happy and very glad to hear that. No interruption. Let's get into it before the internet changes its mind. Okay, let's sort of comb through this little dissertation. All right, guys. Before I do that, did you guys hear? There's a 28-year-old woman over there in Kitwe. She's been arrested for stealing 11 vehicles, 11 cars. So here's what this young girl, this dame. Do they say dame anymore? They did when I was a kid, you know. We used to call girls dames. That's a good thing, you know. We used to call them debutantes as well. These kids don't even know what debutante means, okay? Well, there's this dame over there in Kitwe, 20-year-old woman. She's 28 years old. What she used to do is that she would hire the cars. Okay, she would go into what seemed to be a legitimate car transaction. She would hire the car and then turn around and begin to hire the same car to somebody else. And then the cars would just simply go missing. After a while, Here it is. She accumulated more than 11 cars in theft. She's been arrested and charged with, wait for it, motor vehicle theft, which is a very serious crime because it's not bailable. And we all know the history of that. That came about during Machiluba's time. There's a scandal around why theft of motor vehicles is a non-bailable offense. If I were to sit here and tell you that story, it would curl your hair if it was straight or make it straight if it was curled. Okay, basically, let me break it down for you. Basically, there's this guy who Bachiluba didn't get along with, and he took off with a car. And so in those days, in the MMD days, they created this law, to fix this guy. They said, okay, anybody that steals a car from now on, theft of motor vehicles is a non-bailable offense. And we are still living under the umbrella of that law today. It's not a bad law. It's a good law, I think it is. It's a good law. But the only thing, though, it was created to fix somebody. That's the thing about laws, is that when they're designed to get someone in particular, they're not always good laws. But I think this one is a good law. I really do. All righty. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention is just a few minutes ago, I heard this political nuisance. One, Chilufya Tayali, he went over to Livingston there, and as you know, he's been going to court, as we all are. Okay, let's just full disclosure. I'm going to court for the same thing. Chilufya Tayali went on his television show, and he basically accused Chief Mukuni of being involved in the gassing saga, which was a very irresponsible statement, because everybody knows that the gassing episode in our country was a very sensitive, very volatile, very explosive issue. But Tayali, being who he is, being the irresponsible loudmouth that he is, he went on his channel and he started saying Chief Mukuni was involved in the gassing. And guess what happened? Tayali got sued. Now, Tayali today, earlier, he came out and said, well, I've held a press conference in Livingston, and I'm here to apologize. I'm going to apologize to the chief, and I'm going to apologize to the whole world, because after all, I'm human. Everybody knows the reason he's apologized is because he knows the noose is tightening around his neck. He's got nowhere to go. They got him fixed, is what it is, boy. I tell you what, they've boxed him into a corner. He knows the man's in trouble. As Muhammad Ali used to say, the man's in trouble. Yeah, we've all been there. I mean, I've had my own taste of that. As you know, Tarsila Lungu has sued me because I said some stuff that we're still in court about, so I'm not really going to say too much. And we're going to go where the evidence takes us, is basically what it is. And the stuff that's going to come out there is going to shock you. It's going to shock you. It's going to mess you up, is what it is. Okay. So anyway, Tayali has apologized. Now, here's the thing about politicians. The reason people like him apologize is because they know that when they apologize to a chief or a politician, the manipulation there is that because I've apologized and because you are a leader, it is incumbent upon you to forgive me. Because if you don't have a forgiving heart, then what type of leader are you? Do you see the manipulation? The manipulation is so stark. It's so evident. It's so vivid. All of these chaps do this. Whenever you apologize to a politician, the politician feels the pressure, especially in Zambia. In Zambia, so because it means you're not a leader. It means umutima tawakwate, umutima wa chikuku tawakwata. Which means nga tawakwate umutima wa chikuku wala tuteka shiani. You see how we oversimplify things in Zambia? We oversimplify everything. If you are a true leader, otherwise, how are you going to take care of us if you can't forgive him? And Tayali knows this. He knows this, and that's the reason they do it. Okay, all right. Guys, as you know, let's talk about the main deal. The Notorious Patriotic Front, the N.P.F, they were supposed to hold a rally today being the 26th of August, 2023. Okay, I got to make sure of this. All right, got to change this here. And, they made this big hoopla about the rally. They said they were going to do this thing, and then the police said you can't do it. And I'm going to show you a trick. I'm going to tell you a trick that these politicians use, these kadas, these shysters use when dealing with politicians. So here it is. Initially, the police refused the N.P.F's request to hold a rally. So a delegation led by Raphael Savimbi Nakachinda went to see the Minister of Home Affairs, Jack Mwimbu. They came out of that meeting. Jack Mwimbu asked Nakachinda's delegation, go to the police. They will guide you. Nakachinda and his group turn around and say, no, if I'm minister, that's a power play. Most people don't see through it. Whenever you go to one authority and then you go to someone slightly above that authority and you emerge from this authority and you begin to make statements like, oh, no, if we're not, you create a conflicting atmosphere that confuses the observers. It confuses viewers. It confuses listeners. It is a deliberate ploy. It is a deliberate machination to sort of mislead the public. Raphael Savimbi Nakachinda knew good and hell well what he was doing when he first received the communique from the police that this rally was not to take place because of security and safety concerns, which are legitimate. But Raphael Savimbi Nakachinda goes to see Jack Mwimbu. He emerges from that, telling lies, talking about how no, if we're not to minister, which means the minister's decision has overridden the IG's decision. All of this was done to mislead and to create a smokescreen and mislead the public. Well, now that the dust has settled, now that the dew has dried, guess what's happened? This morning, if indeed this rally was supposed to be as important as they portrayed, which really it wasn't. I mean, who holds a rally without a legitimate selected leader? The N.P.F, as we sit here now, they don't know who the hell's going to lead them in 2026. They have no idea. They're just shooting in the dark. Who holds a so-called strategic rally without a leader? How do you go to war without a general? How do you go to war without directives? How do you go to war without an objective? That's what the N.P.F were basically doing, putting the cart before the horse. So here it is. This morning, if indeed this rally was important, which it wasn't, this morning, former President, sixth President Edgar Lungu was out jogging. If this rally was really important, you think Walungu would have gone jogging? No, Walungu would have been sitting around with the team, strategizing. What are we going to talk about? What message are we going to give our supporters? What do we expect to achieve from this bogus attempt of shooting in the dark? Nakachinda, what are your ideas? Emmanuel Mwamba, what are you saying? GBM, what do you think? Miles, where's Miles? Somebody call Miles. Where's Miles? Is he coming? No, he's not coming. No. Get him on the phone. And somebody get me a latte while we're talking. None of that happened. The president, the former president, the sixth president, woke up and he went jogging, which tells you, what do you think that tells you? I'm going to ask you. I ask you, my viewers. What do you think that says? Tell me in the comments below. What do you think that says when someone presents this idea that they're about to launch a groundbreaking, cataclysmic, seismic shift of a rally? And then all of a sudden, one of the key players in this whole scheme of things, one of the key players, the sixth president, Edgar Lungu, who's a key player, he's out jogging in the morning. What does that say to you? Tell me in the comments below. Tell me what it says, and then I'll highlight your comment. Tell me what it says. I'm going to highlight your comment. If you tell me what it says, what does that imply? Come on, guys. Here we go. There you go. Boom. It says he was not part of the plan and shows that it was not important. Boom. That's absolutely correct. Thank you. Who is that? That's Dan. Cool. Is that Dan or Don? Dan. That's what it means. So basically, the N.P.F were just creating a storm in a teacup. The N.P.F were just, they were just grasping at straws. The N.P.F was just creating a hullabaloo for nothing. The N.P.F were making noise in a room full of silence for the sake of making noise. Here's my admonition to the N.P.F. Stop fooling around. You clowns don't have time. You think you have time. Stop this nonsense of crisscrossing this nation, talking about things that are inconsequential. Roll up your sleeves. Select a leader from amongst you. Tell the Zambian people what you're going to offer as an alternative. Don't play patty cake, baker man. Don't tiptoe through the tulips. Get serious. 2026 is around the corner, and you guys are playing drafts instead of playing chess. Clowns. All right. I thought I'd share that with you. A couple of comments. Here we go. Oh, I want to read this. It says, when you say that they canceled it for security purposes, why was the police all over This is a good question. And let me tell you, I know what he thinks he's saying. What he's saying, or what he's implying, this is Richard. Richard is implying that no, the police shouldn't have even been there. They should have just allowed people to assemble. Do you know what type of lawlessness happens without police presence? Especially when it comes to a group, a rebellious, notorious group like the N.P.F, the Notorious Patriotic Front. Do you honestly think that without police presence, that's wise? It's never wise. It's never wise to have a politically charged rally where you've got leaders like Rafael Savimbi Nakachinda, who mean no good for this country. Rafael Savimbi Nakachinda would be very pleased to see this nation erupt in violence. People that have no care, no concern, no love, not a patriotic bone in his body. You think people like that, after proselytizing and preaching a rebellious message of retribution, revenge, and hate, you think those kids are going to act normal? No. They would go into riot mode. So you need the police in any setting, in any political environment, whether it's the N.P.F, the UPND, MMD, you need police presence. So get it out of your minds when you say, no, the police should not have been there. Do you realize how decadent, do you realize how close we would come to pure chaos if we didn't have the police? I mean, imagine a world with no police. That's what you would be dealing with, okay? Watch the movie The Purge. Then you have an idea of a society, a lawless society, void of police presence. It's chaos. Anyway, thought I'd share that with y'all. All righty. Well, hey guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate you so much. Take it easy. And have a great weekend. Bye.